I must admit this because I did mix up this morning, but as I usually do, I'm doubting myself. And it's not really a good sign, but I think at the same time, this topic is so important to me that I feel like there's a need to talk about it. So I play this and fail. Um, I'm talking about things that have sort of spawned from the obviously situation in America to an extent. Also others in that people will act out on obviously dark thoughts and being in a dark place to harm others. And I talked about being an incel and stuff at some point, where it essentially just takes strength to admit where you're wrong. It's the most important thing to get out of that. There's also the fact that you need to just be smarter about it as well. But one of the things you essentially need to do is do research. Like one of the things I learned about, for women, is that there is a biological instinct to go with the stronger person, which fucking sucks because I consider myself pretty weak and I'm quite emotional as well. The only thing I'll say to that is I don't feel sorry for yourself that you can't essentially attract women. It's just going to happen, just either because of evolutionary instincts or whatever. So never let that beat you down, because it's not really your fault. And it's not even women's fault for that matter. It's just evolution being evolution, and it sucks. Even with like attracting men, for example, you need to be smarter about it. You need to make sure you're looking for not just a person with the better sort of attitude, but the one who's going to be more sympathetic towards you and empathetic, both really. Because I don't think they'll really ever treat you right if they're overconfident and also like trying to push things onto you. Those sorts of men are always red flags, just regardless. It's always a thing. Extroverted people, especially, it's more common, I will say. But yeah, that's like some advice. And then you got like traumas like childhood bullying and just essentially like parents even like bullying you and stuff. It's a lot harder to address, and it's not a simple case of like, oh, you can forget, and forgive and forget or whatever. But I don't think that's really easy, and it's not really to the point either. Because it's like trying to pass something off or putting like a scapegoat there to convince yourself that everything's fine. Um, but there are probably better ways to address it, like focusing your thoughts away from it. Obviously, doing the same thing with like seldom, like focusing on what you understand about again said type of people. In this case, it could be children if it's childhood bullying, but it can be adults too. So some have to be trolls and never grow out of childhood, basically. So they end up being these assholes. And one of my best tactics for like online bullying and trolling is actually to fucking hit like that. It's to like accept what they say, because yeah, they'll say anything about you. I've been told that I sound like I've got a cock in my mouth and a hamburger in my mouth. I sound gay or whatever. I don't fucking care. I'll accept those. I like both. I'll take it as a compliment instead of a insult is exactly how you get back at them. Because when they realise they can't get through to you, they'll stop. And it's really that simple. The bully mindset is they pick on someone who's weak, and this is very common, unfortunately, on like some social media sites. I know Facebook used to be like this, but they like find like certain pages or like videos and then just comment on them with things like horrific. They'll condone like the rape of underage children. They'll say that it's okay to kill babies and baby animals for that matter. And there's like a bunch of fucked up shit on there that just goes unsaid, and one of the ways you can actually get back at them, which I wish more people would do, is to uncover the masks. Because yeah, they're hiding behind the face of the internet, thinking, oh, if I assert my strength here in the comments, I'll be completely fine. But wait until you slap them with, I don't know, not a threatening message, but information that they wouldn't expect it. Not suggesting certain things, but there is something I would do personally if I encounter that sort of person. There are also cases like people like condoning animal abuse, animal hunting. One of the recent things I saw actually was like condoning false cub hunting, which is just fucking horrific. People saying like, oh, it's good to do that. It's like, no, you're just weak people preying on a weaker species. Like, that's not strength. And that's not doing a good thing either, let alone for the ecosystem. Plain and simple that you're stupid. But also, what the fuck is wrong with you that makes you want to do this? You've got to change. Simple as that, otherwise people will just grow to hate you and people will, yeah, they might respond in kind like, at some point. I'm not going to lie, on myself, I'd defend someone, I'd defend myself, even at the cost of someone's life. I'd do that 100%. No doubt about it. That's only when push comes to shove, really. And yeah, I'm not really one to initiate the first punch unless I'm like extremely provoked to. But I've not even fought in years, so I don't know if that could ever happen. But again, like fighting back is one of the best strengths about overcoming bullying and just getting stronger, like mentally and physically. Yeah, you might hate the fact that you're bullied as a child, like I was. What you could do instead is start to work out and get much stronger. Like literally fight against people in a way that it benefits you, like mentally and physically. You can look back on it as well with like certain childhood bullies and just realise that you're a stronger person, you're better than them. You probably were always better than them anyway if you were a victim of bullying. You were obviously doing something that pissed them off. Like, in my case, I was bullied for being fat, I was also autistic. But again, like, people need to realise that there's strength in your own weaknesses as well. And bullies, I don't think there is. You need to literally fight back. That's my best advice there. And the other thing to address is like how you don't let shit sort of get in your way when addressing this sort of thing. Like how people, for example, will also do like this, like animal hunting shit to make themselves appear strong, but they're not. But how do you not let this sort of thing manifest into that? Really, that's the question here. And it's kind of hard to address because I'm not sort of educated on this, and it's really something that I think a psychiatrist could probably answer, maybe. But a lot of these fucked up ideas just come from a dark place. Sometimes paraphilic disorders come from other people's paraphilic disorders. It's not developed as a child. It can be, I think, actually. It's definitely cases of it. But it can be acquired. And it definitely happens when people, like, for example, get abused as a child, like sexually abused, and become child abusers themselves. It also doesn't imply, like, paedophilia or anything, because those two are completely separate things. Like, both can happen, but one can happen over the other. It really depends. There's no like one sort of answer suits all really, because every situation is different. And again, it will take strength to overcome it, to essentially you can't get rid of trauma, but treat it, and treat it effectively. and definitely trying not to let it become something worse is very important. That's essentially how you're going to address it. And when it becomes bad, it definitely needs to be addressed and urgently, no matter. Because like, I don't think you can exactly survive that long if you're going through all that shit. It will eat you up from the inside out, and longer goes sort of I don't know what the word is, unknown, unrecognised, undiagnosed even. The worse it will get. That's why it manifests. I think you need to understand the start of a problem to overcome it. I remember when I used to be drinking alcohol, for example. I had urges to drink, and it wasn't just like any sort of urges. Like, I felt like having a cider tomorrow, and I realised immediately when I had that, and then the next day, or the same day actually, I was like thinking, what drink am I going to have tomorrow? It's like, oh, hang on, something's not right here. And that's when I realised I needed to cut down significantly, so I didn't start convincing myself, rolling my brain into thinking I need alcohol to sort of plan out my day, to get some sort of, I don't know, like gratification or fix. And I guess it's the same with trauma. So understanding those warning signs and acknowledging them before they become a bigger issue than they already are. If you're thinking of, like, for example, I was trying to think of like a thing, like, not necessarily something paraphilic, but I don't know, like a weird fetish, like, I don't know, that's something harmful that's not actually harmful in consent. Let's say shit fetish, like, fuck it hell, let's go there. It's like disgusting, it'll help distract you, trust me. Yeah, like, it's something that people grow a sort of attraction to and an interest in. There's nothing inherently wrong with it. It's only when it breaches the borders of consent and comfort that it becomes an issue. And I sort of said this in like a relationship talk I've said before. I'm not sure if I actually uploaded it. But if it's like in a relationship, then I think you need to be addressing it properly. Either you reach a middle ground where you do nothing, or you give each other something that you both want. As simple as that. That's probably too simple anyway. It's important. Like, it's just, it's not really a bad thing to have fetish like that. It definitely can be healthy, I think, to an extent. But people need to sort of understand that, again, people have problems and people have addictions or whatever. Like, it varies, everyone's different. And I think one of the things we can also do as like humanity, society in general, other than understanding these topics a bit more and being open-minded and even talking to these people, could definitely help spread awareness about it. And definitely with cases of people becoming something worse and obviously traumatized or even having like PTSD, knowing the warning signs, addressing that, especially if you're like a friend or a family member, super important, even stranger, if you just overhear someone saying that, you definitely need to be concerned. Reach out to the person, like, don't push anything that's sort of dangerous in that sense. Like, don't say, I'm going to call the cops. No, you're going to call the cops when there's action about to be taking place. Because I guarantee you it's probably going to damage someone doing that to begin with. It's going to damage them for sure. Trying to get help in a way that's like not confrontational is probably going to help someone. I'm not going to say it's going to prevent things, I don't know for sure if it does. But trying is one of the only ways we can know how. I know from experience with dealing with, unfortunately, people with paraphilic disorders, addressing it and treating it as the most effective tactic available for that sort of thing. And it really can't be ignored again. And if it's that manifest, then who knows what can happen. I don't really want to find out, and that's why I've always taken direct action against it myself. Doing things that are kind of unorthodox in that sense. I've been going as far as like suggest specific treatments. And yeah, that's literally how you address obviously trauma and like just being just like appearing more dangerous. Like if you notice yourself like appearing more dangerous, then I think that's a good thing because you know that there's something wrong there. If you're acting on it and not doing anything about it, then you're obviously in the wrong, and you definitely need to address that somehow. A lot I wouldn't even out someone who's actually done something wrong until I fully know the story. Because again, it's like one thing to report it, but is that actually going to change anything? Is that going to get to the root of the problem? In some cases, it won't. In some cases, it can. It varies from situation to situation. I can't really say that there's only one, again, one answer fits all situation here, or one answer answers all. I don't know how to explain that. Yeah, I bring this up because I'm worried about humanity. And my empathy just goes off the charts in that sense when I see someone suffering or there's a situation where someone is trying to oppress the other. Often it takes tactics to overcome that. Um, Being smarter about it as well. Yeah, that's everything I have to talk about. It's a quite heavy topic, so it's not for everyone, obviously. I do care about this topic just to put it out there and to also get discussions going about it. But I don't care how fucking controversial it is, honestly. Because at some point you need to acknowledge the source of the problem. But addressing actions and unfortunately like victims, which you do need to address, it should be addressed from the start anyway, and a lot of people do for some reason. You need to address the source of the problem. Because otherwise it's just going to repeat itself again and again. So yeah, I think I've said everything. So thanks for listening and see you one another time.